Hey fam, let's talk about hair. I'm so pro me. I'm pro me, y'all. Look at my earring. Look at the afro pick with the heart in it. Love my hair. Love the skin that I'm in. Sure do. Let's talk about hair, family. Let me get serious. Um, I was having a conversation with my daughters. I have two daughters, for those of you who do not know. Two beautiful daughters, 134 and 132. And it's funny how you could live with somebody for a long time and still don't know certain things about them, right? Now, my daughters are both natural. Um, let's go back to my childhood. Let's go back up a little bit. In my childhood, I remember my mom straightening my hair. She didn't straighten my hair all the time, but it was if it was picture day or some special occasion, she would straighten my hair. And I remember feeling like I was being tortured. I remember crying because she burned my neck, she burned my ears, she burned my forehead. And mainly those times that she burned me, it was because I jumped, because I felt the heat. And so, of course, I'm moving and that made that comb touch me. That mixed with the grease is a recipe for destruction, honey. Scars on my forehead, scars on my neck, scars on my ears. It was torturous for me. I hated it. I hated it. Right? So, and I want to say this because I'm hearing that a lot of women are saying that their mothers made them feel bad about their hair. My mom never made me feel bad about it because she mainly kept my hair in corn braids and afros and stuff like that. I grew up in the 70s. I was born in 67. Yes, I'm that old. And that era, it was a pro-black movement back then as well, right? You know, all the fads always come back. I don't know why it's a fad to love your natural hair, but at that time, my papa had a nice afro. He used to put a part down the middle. My mama had her pretty afro. And so for certain occasions, I remember my 10th birthday, she had my hair in this big fuzzy afro. I was cute. And remember, we had ribbons. For those of you of my age, we had those ribbons wrapped around our head. We was cute, looking like a gift in a package out here, okay? But there were times that she did want to straighten my hair. And what I love is that I never heard her say, your hair's so nappy, girl, your hair's so hot. My mother never spoke to me like that. But unfortunately, there are a lot of children who are adults now who said that their mom made them feel bad about their hair. The way they talked to them, the way they handled it, and it made them feel a way. I didn't feel a way about my hair back then. I'm trying to think. I'm going back in my mind because it was a long time ago. I never felt like my hair was ugly. I never felt like that. I guess you can be convinced by the world about a certain thing. So I do remember when I used to play house, putting a sweater over my head and pretending that that was my hair and swinging it because we see commercials with the girls with long hair, the white girls, of course, with long hair and the hair is flowing and nice and stuff like that. And so I do remember doing that, pretending the sweater is my hair and throwing the arms and it was like it was my ponytails and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess I too was affected by what the world presented to us as what was beautiful, but I didn't get that from my parents. And my dad, I gotta give my daddy his props, right? Because when my father used to pass that kitchen, we used to sit right at the stove. Mama had a chair by the stove and that grease, and she and when I'm crying, my dad didn't like it. He used to go past and be like, Joanne, ain't nothing wrong with that girl hair. Leave her alone. Just braid it up. Because my mom used to hook my hair up. She used to give me some nice hairstyles with different, with the beads and barrettes. And she was really good at braiding. So I was cute. Had a lot of nice braided hairstyles. But like I said, when she felt that she wanted to straighten it for a certain occasion, that's what she did. And I hated it. Now, when I got older, which was in high school mainly, yeah, I wanted my hair pressed out. Junior high school, seventh grade. I say like seventh grade, we start being more aware of what we look like. And I think it was just easier to manage when it was straightened because you could just comb right through it, put it in a ponytail. Honey, grease and water was my best friend back in the day too. Because grease and water just slicks your hair down. So that was my best friend too. But the crazy thing is you do get caught up in the straight look because you can do more styles. You could cut yourself a bang. You could wear what you call it? A page. Back then we used to call it a page. And you can do the flip. We used to have the flip style, like that Farrah Fawcett style. You can't do it when your hair is like this, right? And so we did want our hair straightened. The first time I got a perm, I'm trying to remember how old I was. I think I got my first perm in high school because my mom didn't perm my hair for a long time. So when I got my perm, that was that. I remember I had a job in the summertime and getting in that chlorine. My hair just broke out from that, from chemicals mixed with the chemicals in the pool. Damage. So I suffered with a lot of damage. And pretty much in my family, we have a head full of hair. My hair is finally growing back because I chopped it down so hot. I chopped it down, so it's trying to grow back now. But we have a nice head of hair in our family, a lot of the women. And my hair broke out from that perm and the chlorine. And of course, I didn't know any better. I kept perming. So by the time I had my daughters, when my daughters, I didn't want to perm them when they were young, and I didn't. I didn't just say, let me perm my baby's hair, because I see a lot of people perming their children so early as 5. And I knew that it was a chemical, and I knew that it could be damaging because my hair had fallen out on different occasions from those perms or not maintaining the perm properly, whatever it was. But anyway, my daughter, my oldest daughter, I believe she asked me to cut her a bang when she was 10. Was she 10? She was 10. When she said, Mommy, I want a bang. And I'm like, you can't get a... I said, okay, so you remember the curler set bang? We used to wet it, put some grease on it, and put the... Right. I wanted to give her that type of bang, but she was like, Mommy, I don't want that kind of bang. I want the bang where it's straight and you cut it across. And I'm like, oh, you would have to get a perm for that. And I allowed my 10-year-old daughter to convince me to perm her hair. And it was a regret of mine because I regretted. I permed her, so of course the younger one wanted one too. So they were 10 and 8. I feel like kicking myself even telling this story because we teach our children what's beautiful and what's acceptable by what we do in front of them and what we allow them to do. We are the greatest examples that they will ever have, right? And so I feel bad about that. Even though I never had a problem with doing their hair, I used to hook my babies up too. They had the bomb ponytail styles and all these corn braids with beads. Their hair used to be hooked up. But as they got older and they see other girls with certain hairstyles, they start to, we tend to want to fit in. And I guess that's natural. We tend to want to fit in and look like everybody else. But we need to start teaching our babies that they're beautiful just the way God made them. Because look at all the adults who cannot stand themselves right now. They don't like their hair to look like this. They don't like this texture hair. They don't think they look neat. They don't think they look good. And they don't think other people like what they see when they look at them because they don't like what they see when you look at yourself. And we teach our babies that. And I wanted to do this video for that specific reason. Because somebody had pointed it out. It was after I went natural. I went natural 2010. Yes, I went natural 2000. I cut my hair down like this. And I like what I saw. It was so the closer it gets to my roots, the curlier it is. To wash it and just throw something in it, it was all curly and cute. What? My big old head. I was a bald-headed cutie, honey. I loved it. My daughters came home and they was like, Ma, you permed your hair? You cut your hair off? I mean, permed your hair. Ma, you cut your hair off? I said, yup. And I was a chunky something, excuse me, y'all. So I would walk past the mirror and laugh at myself and be like, who's that bald-headed fat girl? But I loved the feel of my hair. And it's funny, it wasn't about a movement for me. It was about me saying, you know what? I'm tired of just putting this chemical in my hair all the time. We putting that stuff on our scalp. Our scalp is burning. We didn't know the damage it was doing to our hair. And now here we are today finding that is the cause of fibroids and other issues. And only God knows what else. I had been diagnosed with fibroids. And I had been perming my hair since a teenager up until in my 40s. And so, yeah, that's awful, all because you wanted this wrap. And I used to get these wraps and be swinging my hair and it was on my shoulders and on my back and thought I was cute because I had this silky hair. It was easy to manage. You didn't have to worry about picking it, shaping it, and if the style don't come out right. Because when your hair is natural in its natural state, you can do the same style twice and it does not look the same. You can do the same style 6 times and it will never look the same. Your hair does what it wants to do. And I kind of love that about our hair. I love that it defies gravity. I like that it is rebellious. I love it. Yes. But anyway, back to my daughter. So I did perm their hair. Their hair started to break because I wasn't really good at taking care of perms. Obviously, because my own hair had been falling out a lot off and on. Then it would grow back. Then it would fall out. So I regretted doing that. But now, today, they are both natural. They love who they are. They embrace who they are. They love their blackness, right? Now, this was the conversation that was had last week. We were my older daughter called the younger daughter, so they were on speakerphone. And my younger daughter had locks. They were growing so pretty, they were looking bomb. And so she did decide that she wanted to comb through her hair. She missed manipulating her hair. So she unraveled all those locks, and her hair is a beautiful big mass of gorgeousness right about now. I'm hot. Hold on, y'all. Always sweating all the time. This menopause ain't no joke, right? So she had taken it out, and it is so luxurious and healthy and full and nice. When we leave our hair alone, it gets so much strength. It's so full and nice. It gets so much strength, right? So her hair is gorgeous. And so they were discussing going to a job interview, and how she said, my oldest daughter asked her, so what you been doing with your hair? And she said, just kind of putting it up in a big old bun, a big old puff. And she said, but when I went for my job interview, I slicked it back. And when I heard that, that struck a chord with me. Excuse me, I'm having hot flash. I'm stuck in my bathroom because I'm trying to keep it quiet. The babies are out there. But yeah, she said she pinned it back for the interview, and that struck a chord with me. And I said, wait a minute. Let's discuss this. So I said to my daughters, I said, y'all think like that when you go on interviews, like what your hair looks like? And they both said, yeah. And that shocked me. It shocked me, y'all. And I'm like, I mean, I'm thinking it's okay to be who you are, because nowadays we're walking around with our beautiful natural hair, what comes out of our roots, and we're being accepted or not. But if you don't accept me the way I look, I wouldn't want to work for you. But I guess that's not realistic, because in the real world we need to work. We gotta pay bills. We have children to take care of. My daughter has 2 children and a husband, and she wanted to contribute. And when they said that, it just made me think about how it's insane that people make you feel bad about what comes out of your scalp naturally. That bothers me. That upsets me, because I'm like, this is what's coming out of my head, and I love it. And they love it too, but it's funny because the world still makes them feel a way. And that annoys me, that the world still makes you feel a way about your stuff. Yes, my spongy, corally, kinky stuff. I love it. It's like wool for real. I love it. But yeah, this is what we're facing, family. And I just feel bad for us, because even still, a lot of women won't show their natural hair. Still walking around with wigs and weaves, spending billions and trillions of dollars as a people. Can you imagine if we took that money that we spent on weaves and built our communities up? It's insane to hate yourself like that. It really is. And we need to install in our children when they're young that what comes out of their hair, out of their scalp, is beautiful. My dad telling my mom, ain't nothing wrong with her hair. You know what that did for me? I didn't think about it so much at the time. But for a man to say that, it means a lot. Because a lot of these days, men are dating women of other culture, and their hair don't look like ours. So we're like trying to compete, obviously, because we're getting their hair put in our hair. Walking around looking like somebody we're not. Somebody had posted up this meme, and I said, this is true. It was so funny. It was a lion, right? With his mane. They took and put a wig on it, and you see how foolish he looks, because it's not natural. His mane is bushy, full, and round. And they put the wig on his head. He looked crazy. And they were showing us that that's what we look like. That's not natural for us. And I made this video because I want to talk to the women who have little girls. And you may be wearing wigs and weaves all the time and still perming your hair, which is so dangerous and unhealthy, ladies. It is so dangerous and unhealthy. And to have your daughters looking at you like that, you can't tell them to love themselves when they are not seeing you do it. And that's major. It matters. Our daughters watch everything we do. They want to be like us. They watch you from the time they're small. And if they keep seeing you manipulating your hair to make it look different and other than what it really looks like, that's teaching them, giving them a message. And the message is, I don't like the way I am, so I'm going to change the way I am. And I know a lot of people say, oh, for versatility. And I get it, because I don't like to look the same either. When I was a teenager, I was forever styling my hair in all kinds of styles. But I had a perm. But I like to look different. So I get it. You get bored looking the same. So you may do different things. But I'm not really referring to you, because that's a personal choice. I'm referring to those of us who really, for real, hate our hair and no one's ever seen it, because you won't go out without a wig or a weave. Or maybe some type of braids or extension, because you don't really know how to maybe do your hair, or you just hate the way you look. You are raising your daughters to feel the same. And I'm doing this video because I would love for us to stop that cycle, because it's vicious. Make your children proud of themselves. Make them aware that they are beautiful, that God made their hair like this, and our hair is just like Christ's. I need to read your word, honey, because he had hair of wool. When you look at that sheep, that lamb, what it look like? And we got different texture hair. Love whatever is coming out of your scalp. Love whatever is coming out of your scalp. Teach your babies that they are beautiful as is. And if you have anybody around you who says anything else, you better stop them in their tracks. Because I gotta watch my mouth. Sometimes I want to get all caught up and I want to say certain things, but you got to be mindful. There was an older man who saw his granddaughter's hair out like this and a bow in it. And he says, "What's the matter with your hair? Your mommy didn't do your hair today?" And I looked over at him. I was like, what? Her hair is done. Her hair is beautiful. That old school way of thinking, because he's an older man from the island, that old way of thinking is despicable. We have been taught to hate ourselves, our complexion, our hair, everything about us that is beautiful and exceptional and unique. We have been taught to hate it. So to hear an older man tell his granddaughter something like that, that thing stabbed me in my heart. I'm like, what? No. I said, her hair is absolutely beautiful. Her hair is gorgeous. And I just didn't like it, because I'm like, that stays in a child's head. Grandpa don't like my hair. And what is she to do about it? Beautiful curly mass of hair. Beautiful curly crown. And he said, "What's wrong with your hair? Mommy didn't do your hair." Don't allow people to talk to your children like that. That negativity, that self-hatred. Don't allow people to put that on your children. Build up their self-esteem, and maybe through them you can build up yours. If you're the type of person who don't like your hair, you don't know what to do with it, you don't know how to style it, it does take more time. It really does in the morning. You're not going to just get up and just go. It doesn't. You have to make a plan sometime at the night before you get up and go. But that just makes us beautiful and unique, set apart, different. I don't know why you would not want to be different. Why do you want to blend in with everybody else? We are exceptional, honey. Exceptional. Let me show y'all. It's mine and I love it. I might not be able to put my fingers in there and just go right through it. I gotta kind of wiggle them to get them through there, but it's all good. It's mine and it's beautiful. Learn to love yourself, ladies, and teach your daughters to do the same. Be a good example. Peace, love, and blessings.